Channel 1, Channel 2, 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 Channel 1, Channel 2,
up on Star City News.
We'll update you on the fatal shooting that happened in a Chicago hospital yesterday afternoon.
With Thanksgiving right around the corner, the Giving Tree has found a special way to bring holiday meals to the less fortunate.
Scott Ayers will give you the full rundown on sports.
Alec Chisholm will share with you what he found out about holiday package theft.
We'll have all that and more coming up on Star City News.
Good evening and welcome to Star City News. I'm Grace Harmon.
And I'm Jessica Chamberlain.
The season of giving is upon us, and so is the season of taking. Lincoln police are warning residents of an expected spike in thieves stealing packages right off your front porch. Star City reporter Alec Chisholm is live in the newsroom with more on how you can protect your gifts. Alec?
Last year, LPD reported the highest number of larcenies they've seen since 2007. Now, before the biggest delivery time of the year, they're looking to get out ahead of that problem. More packages means more opportunities for thieves. LPD Public Information Officer Angela Sands says if you're getting your gifts sent to you, stay vigilant.
One thing is those Ring doorbells. We've had success with those. Neighbors keeping an eye out, calling in suspicious behavior. But unfortunately, even if we catch them, that doesn't necessarily mean you get your package back. So the best way to go about this is preventing it.
Sands says there were over 1,000 open area larcenies reported last year. That's a 34% jump from 2016 and the highest number of larcenies reported in Lincoln in a decade. Sands says most of those larcenies involved packages being taken from residents' porches.
We do expect the same numbers to continue throughout November and December as people order more gifts online and have packages left on their porches. So we are encouraging people to use alternative delivery options.
Those alternatives are offered by several major delivery services. Amazon, for example, allows people to pick up their packages from a locker. The company emails you a code after they put it in a locker, and you go pick it up at your earliest convenience. Amazon also provides in-home delivery where they drop off the package inside your house behind your locked door. UPS can deliver your package to a neighbor. They can also hold the package at one of their facilities and you can schedule a time to go pick it up. FedEx has similar options, letting customers schedule a time for the package to be delivered to their home so they can be there when it arrives. People can also arrange for the packages to be delivered to any Lincoln Walgreens where they can pick it up at their convenience. Lincoln police hope these alternatives will help lower the number of packages stolen this year.
We don't want your holidays ruined when you don't have the gifts delivered to your home or they're stolen.
For Star City News, I'm Alec Chisholm reporting.
UNL has announced its first Chief Diversity Officer to head education and research on the campus. Marco Barker will become the newest member of UNL administration. Barker currently serves in a diversity leadership role at Westminster College in Salt Lake City, Utah. Barker will lead the university's strategic planning and advocacy toward creating an inclusive and equitable campus for all. Along with his new vice chancellor position, Barker will also be an associate professor of practice in the education administration. Dr. Barker will join the administration cabinet on April 1st of 2019.
Tonight, authorities are saying that a shooting spree at a hospital in Chicago is related to a domestic dispute. Yesterday afternoon, a gunman opened fire in the parking lot of Mercy Hospital in the Windy City. Officials say the shooter knew his first victim, who was a doctor at the hospital, but he also shot and killed a pharmacy resident and a police officer. The gunman's shooting spree was ended after he was fatally wounded by officers following an exchange of gunfire. The hospital released a statement saying, "Every shooting in America is a tragedy, and it is especially senseless when a shooting occurs in the healing space of a hospital." Illinois state officials also expressed their condolences, saying they were grateful for law enforcement's quick and brave response.
Around this time of year, many organizations are busy helping the community. Now, one unconventional group has found a special way to bring holiday meals to the less fortunate. Star City reporter Aaron Hunter has more.
Shannon Krellman, founder of the Lincoln Giving Tree, started the private Facebook group in January as just a forum for people to buy and sell their used items. But now it has blossomed into a nonprofit that helps those in the Lincoln community.
It's spread by word of mouth and grassroots, and we've had people joining consistently since we started.
The organization has done multiple events throughout its first year of service.
We've done Easter baskets, we did flowers for the mission for Mother's Day, we did a backpack event, And then we moved into Thanksgiving.
They exceeded their goal and fed 108 families this turkey season, all of which are coming from the Giving Tree Facebook group.
You know, we're happy to be able to support those in the community that are still needing help.
The bags given out to families are full of non-perishable items that feed up to a family of 6. This includes things like cans of green beans, stuffing mix, sweet potatoes, as well as applesauce and marshmallows.
As you can see all behind here, each different box represents a different item, so it's going to be one of each item.
If you would like to donate to the Lincoln Giving Tree for future initiatives, you can request to join the Facebook group or drop off donations at Goldenrod Print and Mail on Cornhusker Highway. Reporting for Star City News, I'm Erin Hunter.
Grace, it looks like the warm weather is going to be joining us for the holiday this year.
Kind of excited. Usually it's pretty cold for Thanksgiving, but maybe I won't have to bundle up this time.
That's so nice. It's usually pretty warm where I'm from, but I hope you enjoy the warm weather this year. But we have Amanda Acevedo in the studio with us to give us the rundown for the rest of the week. So Amanda, what temperatures are we looking at coming up?
Thanks, guys. We've had a fairly sunny and warm week for mid-November, and now the cold and clouds are settling in. Saturday is going to be our last warm day with a high 57, but it looks like we'll be saying so long to the sun on Thursday. Coming up later, we'll take a look at what's ahead for the rest of the week.
Still to come on Star City News.
We'll tell you what to expect for holiday traveling.
We'll update you on the caravan that is estimated to have 2,500 migrants hoping to make their way into the United States.
And we'll give you the lowdown on what to look for on Black Friday.
We'll have all that and more coming up.
Live from the Anderson Hall Broadcast Studios in the College of Journalism and Mass Communications at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, this is Star City News.
There's lots to see and do at the University of Nebraska State Museum. Be sure to visit our new temporary exhibit, The Museum Builders, which explores the history that led to the building of the University of Nebraska State Museum. Accompanying this is also an escape room, which features the history of fossil collecting in Nebraska. For more info, visit museum.unl.edu.
Since 1990, the Mary Ritma Ross Media Arts Center has served the University of Nebraska-Lincoln with independent film from across the country. With live theater broadcasts, Q&A sessions, and local film festivals, the Ross offers exclusive events year-round. So drop in, grab some popcorn, and watch some of the finest comedies, documentaries, or thrillers. For any movie genre you prefer, the Ross has got it covered.
At the Nebraska History Museum, there's over 12,000 years of history under one roof. Learn about Nebraska before it came a state, what it was like to live in Nebraska during the early years of statehood, and even see unique artifacts only on display at the Nebraska History Museum. The Nebraska History Museum is open until 5:30 Monday through Saturday and is free for everyone. With ever-rotating exhibits, you'll never run out of history to learn. Visit the Nebraska History Museum at 131 Centennial Mall in Lincoln, Nebraska today.
Fast Forward, a variety show written and produced by broadcasting students at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. We have many comedy sketches, some informative segments, and a couple opinion pieces. Check us out weeknights at 5:30 on LNK TV.
Welcome back to Star City News. The American Automobile Association expects to see a record number of Thanksgiving travelers this holiday season. Here's Star City News' Abby Stonehawker with more on the story.
Nearly 20 years ago, AAA paired up with Budweiser to create Tow to Go to help keep impaired drivers off the road around the holidays. Since Tow to Go has started, nearly 25,000 people have used this service.
Unfortunately, many people who do go out and celebrate, they don't plan ahead. And so when they find themselves in situations where they've had too much to drink, we don't want them getting out on the roadway. And so this is just one option to them. And the benefit of this program is it takes them and their vehicle home within 10 miles.
The holidays are busy as it is, but with AAA's projections of 48.5 million travelers on the road this year, this program could improve road safety.
That's big for everybody who shares Nebraska roads, because if you've got somebody making the smart decision to not drive impaired or distracted, then that's only making the road safer.
Tow-to-Go is used in 8 states, including Nebraska, Iowa, and Wisconsin. It will be available Wednesday, November 21st through 6 in the morning on November 25th.
There is a warning tonight on lettuce. Do you have any in your fridge? Well, now's the time to throw it out. Do not buy it, do not serve it, and do not eat it. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention issued a broad alert warning to U.S. consumers that romaine lettuce is not safe to eat amid a new outbreak of illnesses caused by a particularly dangerous type of E. coli contamination. So far, 32 people in 11 states have become sick. Of those, 13 have been hospitalized and 1 is dead in Canada.
Tonight in California, the death toll has risen to 80 people, with thousands still missing as wildfires continue to rage on. 11 days after the start of the most devastating fires in California's history, the flames continue to burn. Officials say that over 15,000 structures have been destroyed in the fires, and along with them, human lives.
The number of people who perished in the fire weighs heavy upon me. I have chosen not to speculate as to how high that number might be.
The scope of the tragedy has led to a massive search and rescue effort and attempts to account for the missing.
This is the largest search and rescue operation in California ever. I mean, we have over 500 search and rescue volunteers from all over California, and that's just unprecedented.
But now new concerns are surfacing. Over the next several days, over 4 to 6 inches of rain are projected for parts of California, which could complicate the search and rescue.
It will pretty much diminish a lot of those flames that are taking place right now. However, it's not going to pose a hazard to the firefighters because they're back there on dirt roads, dirt trails, trying to fight this fire. Now it's going to turn into mud, which will be another hazard for them to contend with.
Despite the expected rain, the fires are supposed to burn for 11 more days.
A federal judge has blocked President Donald Trump's desires to create new rules. These rules will limit the ability of migrants to request asylum. President Trump makes it clear he wants Congress to fund his long-promised border wall.
When you look at the caravans, when you look at the mess, when you look at the people coming in, this would be a very good time to do a shutdown.
But U.S. District Judge John Tiger had a different idea in mind. He stated Monday the president's barring of asylum for immigrants would conflict with the 1965 Immigration and Nationality Act. He then issued a temporary restraining order blocking the Trump administration's new policy. That restraining order remains in effect until December 19th. As political tensions rise inside the U.S., residents in Tijuana are upset by the continued arrivals of migrants. Protesters are also calling for migrants to retreat, but about 200 more from El Salvador are on the way. A senior Democrat is calling for an investigation of Ivanka Trump's use of personal email for government business.
Senate Democrat Richard Blumenthal, a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, wants an investigation by the Office of Government Ethics or Congress.
A White House review showed Trump used her personal email to correspond with federal government staff, cabinet officials, and her assistants for most of last year. Ethics officials uncovered hundreds of emails sent by a domain Ivanka shares with her husband, Jared Kushner.
2 years ago, President Donald Trump criticized Hillary Clinton for a similar misuse of her personal email for government business.
Deregulation because of tax reform.
The stock market continues to drop after already having a rough couple of months. Just back in September, the market was experiencing highs, but today the Dow was down 550 points. NASDAQ was down 120 and S&P fell 49 points. According to CNN Business, investors are bracing for an economic downturn after years of gains on Wall Street.
A slow start for Nebraska basketball turned into another dominating win.
And tonight they'll play in Game 2 of the Hall of Fame Classic. With your first look at sports tonight is Star City's Scott Ayers.
Oh boy, do I have some sports for you all tonight. First, I'll be looking at the Nebraska basketball team and what their game against Texas Tech really means. Then we jump right into the gridiron as the Husker football team pulled out a gritty win over Michigan State last weekend. Oh, and in case you didn't know, we saw one of the craziest football games of the season and maybe of all time last night between the Chiefs and the Rams. I'll cover that wild game. There's all that and more coming up on Star City Sports.
Thanks, Scott. Well, Amanda is here with us. What kind of weather are we expecting for people that are going to be traveling over the Thanksgiving holiday?
Well, Jess, your travels before Thanksgiving are looking up. It looks like we are going to have a sunny and warm Thanksgiving, but if you have to travel on Friday, it may be a different story. We are expecting some rain and some chances of snow on Sunday. I'll have a full look at this week's weather coming up soon, but for now, I'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up on Star City News,
Scott Ayers will return with more on sports.
But first, Amanda Acevedo will give us the rest of her full weather report and what's in store for the holiday.
You're watching Star City News.
Libraries are more than just books. The Bennett Martin Public Library is a place for the whole community to take a break and read, or use technology. It's especially a place for our children to play, learn, and read. We offer spaces that help children learn to read and then love to read. Family story times and summer reading programs help establish the reading habit. Please support libraries as they help children grow into lifelong readers and learners. For more information, please visit lincolnlibraries.org.
We understand. Sometimes you need to stay late on campus. We also understand crime rates are higher at night. That's why UNL is taking care of their students by offering the Husker Safe Walk. It's a free walk-in escort service that can be requested at any time while on campus by calling 402-472-2222. Call 402-472-2222 if you feel unsafe or would like to request a Husker Safe Walk.
If you're feeling hopeless, depressed, or suicidal, you're not alone. If you think that your life isn't worth living, then you need a second opinion. Local trained counselors right here in Lincoln are here for you. Call the Centerpoint Crisis Response at 402-475-6695 or call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-8255. Suicide is a permanent solution for temporary feelings. There is help. There is hope. Make the call.
Located in room 340 of the Nebraska Union, the UNL Women's Center provides a welcoming space full of resources. Their dedicated staff are here to help. Open to all genders, they offer various programs, including free confidential counseling available to UNL students, faculty, and staff. Take advantage of their resources, get involved as a volunteer, or just stop by to check things out. The Women's Center, at the intersection of gender and your life.
Welcome back to Star City News. Let's take a look at tonight's forecast. Today we've reached a high of 54, which felt like a nice change, especially after the cold game on Saturday. But tonight it's going to cool down to about 23. Now let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. Tomorrow we will see another warm day with a high of 50 and low reaching 23 degrees. That should stay pretty consistent for Thanksgiving, staying sunny and even warming up slightly to about 54. Then on Friday, we will have a high of around 52, but a 90% chance of rain to bring up the end of the Thanksgiving holiday. Saturday temperatures will rise slightly to a high of 56 and a low of 28, and that will stay around for the rest of the week because we are expecting snow on Sunday with temps dropping to 30 and nearly 3 to 5 inches of snow are expected. As for Monday, those temperatures will continue to drop with a high of 27 and low of 10. Then on Tuesday, to round out the week, we are looking at a high of 30 with a low of 14 and the sun peeking back out. So guys, we should be prepared for all kinds of weather coming up, but do you guys have any plans for Thanksgiving?
Well, my mom has this fun tradition of making all of us get up and run 2 miles before we eat Thanksgiving dinner. Not so fun.
Well, you know, that sounds like fun, but we, in my family, we eat and then we just take a nice stroll to kind of work off the calories.
Even better. Still coming up tonight on Star City News.
Scott Ayers will be back for his rundown on all things Husker sports.
And with Black Friday just around the corner, we will highlight which items are the best to buy.
We have a new University Health Center, now including the UNMC College of Nursing. The new and improved University Health Center offers everything in one place, including a full-service pharmacy and physical therapy. If you're feeling stressed, talk it out with counseling, or relax and unwind in the all-new Zen Room, now located at 550 North 19th Street.
As part of their Simple Living campaign, Sustain UNL wants to teach you to make your own compost for gardening. Making your own compost is as simple as throwing uneaten fruit, vegetables, bread, and eggshells in a pile and letting nature do the rest. Try turning your pile once a week to aerate it and add it to your garden before planting for the best effect. To learn more about living simply, visit Sustain UNL's Facebook page. Sustain UNL, creating a sustainable world through activism, education, and service engagement.
Libraries are more than just books. The Bennett Martin Public Library is a place for the whole community to take a break and read, or use technology. It's especially a place for our children to play, learn, and read. We offer spaces that help children learn to read and then love to read. Family story times and summer reading programs help establish the reading habit. Please support libraries as they help children grow into lifelong readers and learners. For more information, please visit lincolnlibraries.org.
Since 1990, the Mary Ritma Ross Media Arts Center has served the University of Nebraska-Lincoln with independent film from across the country. With live theater broadcasts, Q&A sessions, and local film festivals, the Ross offers exclusive events year-round. So drop in, grab some popcorn, and watch some of the finest comedies, documentaries, or thrillers. For any movie genre you prefer, the Ross has got it covered.
Welcome back to Star City News. For all things sports, I'm Scott Ayers. Nebraska basketball will be playing in the championship game in the Hall of Fame Classic tonight after a 23-point win over Missouri State. The Huskers take on Texas Tech and have a chance to prove themselves as a threat for March. The Nebraska basketball team has been able to do one thing so far this year that they've struggled with consistently under 10 miles: close out games. On top of that, they've already had 3 different top scorers. Isaac Copeland leading the team Monday night with 23 points, 7 rebounds, and also had a team-high in assists with 4. Now the question is, how Nebraska will handle another big test in the form of Texas Tech, who managed to reach the Elite Eight just a year ago. The Red Raiders took down USC Monday night in a 78-62 victory. They outscored the Trojans 26-11 in the final 8.5 minutes of the game. Texas Tech is led by guard Jarrett Culver, who is averaging 17 points per game with 5 rebounds and just under 5 assists per game. Last year, the Huskers failed to make the tournament because of the lack of big schedule wins. And now the Huskers are already presented with their second opportunity to prove that this year they belong in the field. The Nebraska football team secured a 9-6 victory over the Michigan State Spartans on Senior Day at Memorial Stadium. The cold weather and eventual snow slowed down the high-powered Husker offense, as big plays in this game were hard to come by. But even more surprising was the defensive unit who stepped up against the Spartans. The Huskers forced 2 turnovers and held the Spartans to just 2 field goals. They also had a big 4th down stop to seal the game late in the 4th. Antonio Reed forced both turnovers for the Big Red, by far his best game as a black shirt this season. On Senior Day, it was a freshman who shined brightest. Kicker Barrett Pickering hit 3 fourth-quarter field goals, including a 47-yarder to give the Huskers their first lead with 5 minutes to go in the game. Here was Pickering after the game.
We just went out there like we do for any other kick. We just cleared off the ground to just make sure we get a good ball off and just played a little bit of wind and hoped it would go in.
The game might have been ugly from start to finish, but this could be a very positive sign for what's to come in Lincoln. The Huskers will finish the season at Iowa on Friday. The Hawkeyes are coming off a 63-0 blowout win against Illinois. Iowa has won 4 out of the last 5 matchups with the Huskers, including 2 straight blowout wins. Kickoff is at 11 a.m. The Husker volleyball team won 6 out of 7 games in their weekend matches against Purdue and Indiana. The Huskers beat 12th-ranked Purdue 3-1 and took down the Indiana Hoosiers in straight sets. The Huskers have won 6 straight matches and end the season at home against Ohio State on Friday and Maryland on Saturday. Well, to the NFL we go, and we saw the most exciting game of the season last night. Let's take a look at the highlights between the Chiefs and Rams, but I might need to take a big breath before getting into this one. Well, we start off in the first quarter. It's Patrick Mahomes, already down 13 points, but he finds Tyreek Hill in the end zone. Hill had a pair of touchdowns in this game, and this was a thriller from start to finish. Then second quarter, it's Mahomes to Kareem Hunt, and Hunt had one of 6 touchdowns for the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, but the biggest problem the Chiefs had all day was turnovers. And right here, it's Mahomes, strict sack, and a nice little scoop and score for the Rams that would help lead and eventually lead to a 23-23 halftime score. Now into the fourth quarter, Mahomes and the Chiefs down 10, and how about this cannon? Mahomes, Hill once again, 77 yards for the score. And then we go late fourth quarter. It's Goff to Everett to give the Rams a 54-51 lead. The Chiefs would have one last chance. Can Mahomes get it done? He rolls out here, but unfortunately, his 3rd interception of the game would lead to a Rams 54-51 victory in a game that saw the highest scoring total in a Monday Night Football game. Well, finally, if you're feeling down, maybe you had a bad Monday, this story might make you feel a bit better. A Canadian curling team that had an Olympic gold medalist were kicked out of the championship of the Red Deer Curling Classic in Alberta, Canada, after appearing to be too drunk at the arena. They destroyed brooms, were swearing, and damaged part of the locker room. The team has been disqualified from all future events at the club. So to those who doubt the sport, who says curling can't be a wild, crazy ride? That'll do it for sports. Stay tuned. Still more to come here on Star City News.
Fast Forward, a variety show written and produced by broadcasting students at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. We have many comedy sketches, some informative segments, and a couple opinion pieces. Check us out weeknights at 5:30 on LNK TV.
The Capital Humane Society's Pylock Pet Adoption Center, where you can find your next baby girl, your next Aaron, or your next furry animal companion. Each adoption comes with spaying or neutering, microchip registration, and a health exam that is included in adoption fees. So stop by the Capital Humane Society's Pylock Pet Adoption Center, located at 70th and Highway 2, to find your next furry friend.
Welcome back to Star City News.
The biggest shopping day of the year is almost here. Black Friday is known to be the day after Thanksgiving, but retail experts say it's now evolving into a weekend-long shopping event.
If you're braving the long lines this weekend, here's what experts say are the best and worst items to buy.
Well, first we've got you avoiding furniture and wait to buy in January when it's the lowest. Also, a no are gaming consoles. The same goes for all the toys on your list. Retail may not suggest you wait 2 weeks before Christmas.
For deep discounts, look for sales on these items instead. Appliances and electronics like computers, phones, and TVs are usually heavily discounted. Also, winter gear, sneakers, and designer handbags will also be on sale.
You know, they say not to buy toys, but you know, I have 2 little nephews and now a little niece, and I have to buy them something. Like, I just can't not.
Yeah, obviously. See, for me, I know that a lot of people are really excited about the iPhone X. There's going to be quite a few deals this year, so I am thinking I'm going to get one of those.
That's not a bad idea. Well, thanks for watching and have a safe and fun Thanksgiving. We're off for the holiday, but we will be back next Tuesday. Until then, I'm Grace Harmon.
And I'm Jessica Chamberlain. Good night.